All right, welcome back. This is MDawg, and it has been a minute since I recorded one of these. Now, it may not feel that way if you've been watching the episodes as they come out. Then you probably don't notice that it's been a minute, but it has been a minute since I've recorded one. So some new spots have popped up for us to test out. We're actually going to test this first spot, which supposedly has been a pretty decent Bream spot here at Winding, which this doesn't really do anything for us cafe-wise. It's not doing anything for us in terms of any of the challenges. By the way, we need to see how much time we have left on the challenges. This is 108, 102, by the way. In fact, we don't even have the bait crafted that is working for this. The bait you really want to use here for this is, I think, cottage cheese dough. We also don't have Bream ground bait unlocked. All kinds of things that we don't have unlocked. But let's see, what do we have that might catch a Bream? I'd say pearl barley. We're going 8, 9 clips, something like that. Just like, really, it looks like people are just kind of like this, but casting around that bush over there. All right, so there's one. We gotta try, I think we have to try worm. I almost want to do a little smaller with worm. Let's just see what happens. And then I'm kind of also thinking about red worm. Let's see, what else we got that would be Bream? Semolina once in a blue moon. Wheat seeds could catch a Bream or two. It's just going to be slow. Worm, red worm. I think it's red worm. All right, so first fish on the pearl barley is... Did you feel that shift in the... Wow. We just one-shot it, and that's not even what we were going for. Okay, so if you're wanting to know, that was on a 6-hook pearl barley, and it was ground crackers, 10 out of 10 ground bait. Okay. We have 16 days. We're running out of days. We're almost halfway through. Can't believe we just got that wide eye. That is crazy. All right. Okay, so what's next? I don't like the way did that get better or worse? I think that is a little better. I don't know if there's something about the clothes I'm wearing, the color of the clothes I'm wearing. but it is making the green screen a little bit more struggle bus. I just can't believe it. All right, this is red worm. With a 14 hook. Whatever's been biting on this worm has been nibbling for days. All right, is there anything else that we could try? It stopped nibbling. Sometimes that means it's actually on there. In this case, not so much. All right, 99, 121, 10. Still working for some people. Red worm, 22 hook. Okay, that is probably what we should do. I mean, I want to see one or two more fish here, but at least for me, on these baits with this ground bait, it feels like the regular bream aren't quite as good as they have been. Although I'll tell you, if we had cottage cheese dough, maybe it would still work. I mean, if you look in chat right now, which is these are just 7 players who happen to be fishing in the same area that I'm in. Several bream have been caught, so it's got to be the bait thing. Maybe ground bait to a degree, but mostly the bait. We just don't have cottage cheese dough yet. I am trying to wait for one more fish here. We've only caught 2 fish. They've both been good ones, but we've only caught 2 fish. All right. This post was from 3 days ago. 120, 120. All right, so there's a white bream. Do we feel better about that spot? Or the other spot? 120, 120, huh? I mean, we're much closer to 120, 120, so let's just try it. All right, so we're going to like, I guess 20. All right, clip 15. We'll do, whatever. All right, let's go 120, 120. I was going to try that spot that's at the point right between the pond and the, but you know, we'll get more fishing in the overnight hours if we try this. I guess this opens up at least the small chance that we could catch a blue bream, but it seems like these days it is a small chance. All right, 15 clip. People still casting at this thing, basically. It looks like they are. Now, do we have something? Okay, there's an 18 hook. We'll just put red worm on this one as well. I think 18 is like the perfect, if we're trying to get the one shot that decent sized blue bream. But let's also, wait, hold on. Do we have something a little smaller, like a 16, 20? Let's go 20. Let's also try caddisfly. And let's just see what happens. All right, first fish on red worm. Nace? Roach? Blue bream, white bream, sorry. I was thinking white bream and I said blue bream. I wish it was a blue bream. Although that wouldn't be nearly big enough. Okay, we want to keep digging. All right. So I don't think we have, let's just check. I don't think we really have anything we can, we have 9 ground crackers, but we don't have a lot of ingredients. Yeah, we need to buy some, but we've only got 25 silver. And we're not making a killing right now, are we? All right, I'm going to look at this map real quick. See what's going on. Yeah, is there anything that we should be focusing on in terms of, all right, a chub. Like we could focus on a chub float tackle. I don't really know where we would catch a chub. So it goes up to 5.5. Like a, do we have grasshoppers? Yeah. I don't remember. I don't really know. Like, when was the last post about a chub? I mean, has there even been one? Chub just happened by accident for me. All right, this post actually has some chub in it. This is at really close to where we are now. But this involves spin fishing. So really in this spot could work. It's just a matter of putting that grasshopper on. I don't know the depth. Let's see. 40? Yeah, maybe 40 depth. It's been a long time since that post was posted, but could still work. Oh, there's a little chub, speaking of chub. All right, let's just try it really quick. So the problem here, of course, is it's just going to keep drifting by, right? I just got to be on top of it. We'll see if we're even catching them. Keep casting it out there. River mussel on caddisfly, huh? Now, I don't think this has to be while moving in the current. Just for the challenge itself, because you can do it here or Mosquito. Let's just let it sit there for a minute, maybe. I think we should go down to like 80 depth. Just to try something different. We still need to catch a white bream on float too. That appears to be too deep, at least at that casting range. All right, there we go. Oops. It's dragging a little bit. We might still be able to see the bite okay. We tried to hit white bream at that on float at that spot here in the, what is that, F3. That's where I almost went back, not for necessarily this. People have been catching Donnet's rough there, which we don't even need for the freemium. Ooh, a dace. It's not what I was expecting, especially at that depth. Huh. Again, just dragging enough that it's not moving at all, right? Now this one might have to be in the current. Nope. We needed that red worm. Man, the bite rate is really slow right now. On these feeders. That looks like a bite. Unfortunately, we're going to start getting perch here. Okay. All right, we'll at least get a little floating action going here. Uh-oh. I tell you. Interesting. We were catching all those white eyes here, so I thought it might be worth the effort, but I mean all those white bream here, but so far on float at least, this doesn't seem to be producing white bream. Oh man, that reel was not closed somehow. All right, let's see here. I actually just need to double check on Cafe real quick. I'm not sure what we're going to do at Mosquito. I thought we'd check the Mosquito Cafe as well. And just see if there's anything we want to... what am I doing? Cafe. There's some good orders, just not kind of what we were doing. 26 silver, not bad, all things considered. All right, let's check this cafe. Oh, that's what we want to see. 2 Bleak orders. All right, hold on. I think there is a Bleak spot. 82.89. Oh, it's on fly. I'm assuming we can't get fly still, right? Now we can still go for it, or try it, but... Oh, come on now. 194 silver for fly. All right, so we want to go 1, 2, 3. 82.89. Small hooks. Let's just go try it. Just for fun. I'm a little out of touch because, like I said, it's been a few days, so we're just kind of trying some stuff out. Trying to make some more silver. Have a little bit of fun. 82.89. Looks like there's some lilies there. What are we going to try? Castor, bloodworm, pearl barley maybe? See if any or all of those are working. All right, maybe right here. Okay, what's the strength of this? Yeah, that's good. Sure, we'll do 24 on that one. Bloodworm. Just cast it out there. Do we have a... You know what we need to do is go onto our other rods. Just take the hooks off. Because it might be worth... Especially when we settle on a bait, it might be worth... might be worth switching to a little bigger hook. Oh, you're kidding me. I knew better than that. All right. So, yeah, we'll go 24 for now. What do we say? Bloodworm, Castor. Could also try Maggot. But I think we'll do Bloodworm, Castor, Pearl Barley. Are these going to be identical or are they going to be different? I'm putting that out there. All right, that looks like roach, right? So, in other words, that didn't work. That's not the droid we're after. Okay, those don't look identical, so we actually would have been okay if I could have kept it straight in my head. Yeah, we want to have these closer to shore, I think, for these bleak. I don't want to get them snagged, if possible. All right, let's try this. Let's do 50%. Maybe 55%. Get over that. No. There we go. Now we're in the bleak waters. These waters are so bleak. Okay. So if one of the baits like doesn't seem to be working at all, we can maybe switch it to maggots. These mosquito bleak are not quite as robust as the winding bleak. Those winding bleak, you can feed them all kinds of things. These mosquito bleak, they might really want you to bring flies to the table. That's pearl barley, isn't it? That looks like roach or something. I mean, that's not how a bleak bites. That's not how a bleak bites. Okay. Get. There's some interesting spots at Mosquito right now. All right. Unfortunately, this isn't really working. Do we just want to go back to 5387 and see how that goes for a minute? I mean, that was the spot that was just doing so good. Even just on worms and stuff like that. Catching all kinds of stuff. Again, I don't think this is Bleak. No, that's Sleeper. Do we have anything else that might attract Bleak? I don't think so. Guess we could try worm in case these Bleak are really confused. That'll probably just catch another Chinese sleeper pretty quick, right? By the way, this is like how you can be miserable. Every time you catch a fish that's not the fish you're after, you switch baits. So you finally just end up with baits that no fish are biting on. Although we were in no danger with worm since everything just about bite off of worm. But the only thing I would say is we might not want to put worm on our smallest rod. That's a nice sleeper, by the way. We'll take some marker sleepers. Whale. Yeah, we should just have worms on all three of it and catch sleepers probably. But sleepers will stop biting any minute now. I don't know if the Bleak are still active here. It's been a couple days since the post happened, but if they are liking flies. Flies only. Let's double check winding on flies, but I don't think they have them here either. Without spending a small fortune. You know what would be awesome is if flies came in the bait kit, or if there was like a second bait kit. I'd be fine with it being twice as much, but including some of like more of an insect focused baiting kit or something, bait kit or something like that. I don't know, I just think that'd be really cool. All right, I was going back to Mosquito. I got to go take care of something really quick, so I thought I would just throw these rods in the water, these feeder rods in the water. But let's take our hooks off and stuff. I don't think we're going to actually use these particular hooks, but all right, so let's go feeder, 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 5387, clip 7. We know this spot. Okay. I actually want large hooks. Like pretty much the 3 largest hooks we have. Now we're going to be catching a mix of crucian gibel and roach. So we'll just put roach on there, I think. All right, we're going to go 7. Six, worm. That's the great thing about a spot like this is if it's still doing this, at least it has been just working so well. It's like it almost doesn't matter what you put on there. But we're going to go, again, our largest hooks possible just to try to catch decent sized stuff. I apologize in advance how long you may have to listen to these bells, but I'll be right back. Hope you turn the volume down. Sorry about that. What the tench? I think it's Fisher Online that has this system where there's an option where you can, in the options menu, you can turn it off where it will stop ringing the bell. Like if you don't pick it up within like 10 seconds or less, it just stops the noise. One sleeper away. Our tench wasn't big enough. Not getting bleak. Probably not. Well, what are we using? Worms? We could get perch. Roach is a possibility. We could finish crucian. Lots of little orders. None of them like a big deal since we couldn't get bleak. Who knew that flies would just be such a big deal? But since I don't have flies, I actually can't confirm that that's what's wrong. Like, that could be, but it may not be. All right, so we kind of hate to spend too much silver. Let's see where we are. All right, I had that, let's see. What percentage are we on ground bait? 16.9. Uh-oh, that means we need feed, right? Yeah, we can't get feed here. I don't think we have feed. Didn't we do it all last time? Yeah. And then making, we're just on semolina to 35%. So we're almost there. And then we're at garlic dough, basically. Hey, it's another perch. We're catching some pretty big perch, but I think, you know, we're using worms. We also have really big hooks on. The bite rate's so good, we're able to kind of have these large hooks on and still get some nice fish. Where are we at bottom fishing? 33.4. So we are closing in on those boilies if we want them. Mostly what we want is silver though. We also need to figure out, are we still going for this or not? Because if we are, we have to we need to get some specific gear that we probably wouldn't get otherwise, like the stronger telescopic rod. That's funny. I mean, what are we going to do on this account with chafers? Those are basically fish, you know, about a couple thousand fishing hours from now, we might be able to go for sturgeon with those baits. 3.5. All of them are markers, which means, yeah, it's questionable. Some of these cafe orders are questionable for us. Micro roach. Gotta love the micro roach. Boy, does that, to me it seems like we've caught way more than 3 perch. I could be way off. I mean, I am way off. We've only caught 3 perch, but it seems like it's been so much more than that. Perch, perch, perch. All right, so where we are right now, let's say we're ignoring the fair, or at some point the fair comes to an end and we are kind of just not worried about that. I would argue, I mean, of course we need to be putting money into bait harvesting and ground bait. But we're doing really well on those. On ground bait, we're just trying to get far enough to unlock Bream ground bait, which that's not too far off. And on bait harvesting, we're just trying to get to basically 50%, which again, not that far off. And you could argue that you really only need to get to pea porridge. Egg dough is kind of like, anyway, we're really almost there at a place where we can kind of chill on ground bait and bait harvesting for a while. So once we get there, where the resources really need to go is one of 2 places, for me at least, in the way I would approach it. Either A, to try to make a run at having a really good experience at Belaya, which I am curious, has there been any any recent post on Belaya. I'm going to look at this while we're fishing. So either Belaya, which would be leaning towards spin fishing, of course, with some bottom fishing at night for small stuff, rough mostly. And that can be really fun and really good silver. Spin fish all day, bottom fish at night. You do want Belaya to be at least a little healthy for spin fishing. It doesn't, I mean, it adds up quick on those for XP and silver, especially with cafe orders. So you don't have to like, it doesn't have to be the best ever, but you want it to be a little bit okay. Or B, if not Belaya, if not leaning slightly towards spin fishing, the other alternative, and what would have always been my go-to, would be to get 3 bottom feeder kits at 149 silver a pop. So basically we need 450 silver, and just start farming Bream for silver and XP. But I've done that a lot, and I'm sure we'll potentially do that anyway. So it looks like somebody, let's see, what are they catching here? Oh, they're using that popper. I do have a spot on Belaya where people are catching some brown trout. Now they're using a lure that we just wouldn't be able to use yet, but we could probably find some other options and just try to make it work, see how it goes. And we can do it with really the only expense would be the cost of, we do need to buy some leaders, but mostly the cost of the lure, which is not cheap. The lures are not cheap, but we could at least start off using this setup, unfortunately. But it's fine. 3.9, just need like a 3.9 or close to it leader, and just go for it. So I guess what I'm saying is that's where we're going to switch to crucian gibble ground bait, by the way. And it's about time to maybe switch baits as well. Maybe go semolina or something. Oh shoot, there's another bleak spot at Mosquito from several days ago. But I'm pretty sure that's also on fly. It is on fly. Kind of want to try that rough spot, even if we just try it for a couple minutes here at the beginning of the night. Let's see, what were they using? They were using red worm, which I probably wouldn't do. They should also be fine on regular worm. 10 clip, 93.64. That is way on the other side of Mosquito. But we'll go try it. We'll do 2. No way. No way that fish got on right as we pulled. Now, we could sit here all night or part of the night and we catch some nice crucian gibbles. I mean, that would be the smart play in some ways, but I just want to test one more spot while we can before we wrap this episode up. All right, do we have anything we want to turn in? Like these 5? Absolutely. That's 10 silver. Oh, my perch. This is probably not worth it. We'll pretend like it is, though. It's close enough. We never got a second sleeper. All right. All right, so we're going all the way to 93.64, which is like over here. But let's try it. They were using 20 hook with red worm. We're going to try We'll put red worm on one, but we'll try worm on the other, and we'll do a combination of hooks. But it looks like they were catching a couple of roach, but that might have been during the daytime. 1 or 2 white bream, but some good rough. It never hurts to have rough spots at Mosquito. You get those rough cafe orders that are just awesome. Now, we won't take long to do this. I just want to try it for a few moments. So we're actually going to the other side, all the way down here. I do like fishing down here, though. It's underused, I feel like. There's really good crucian gibble down here. And apparently, oh man, we're not as far down as I thought we are. This is where I thought we were. This is where I like fishing. Actually, several leveling guides ago, just like right here, nice crucian gibble spot, or you can kind of go right here. Nice spot. When it's active, at least. 93.64. Hey, tree. Cool. I like it. Yeah, just kind of like right here, it looks like. What did they say clip they were using? 10 clip. All right, so they were going 20 with red worm. They're actually not using ground bait. They're using an empty cage, but why would we do that when we have all this beautiful ground bait? All right. So that's the size hook and bait that they're using. Now, we're also going to try a 24 hook and regular worm. And 20 hook and regular worm. This is ground cracker, by the way. All right, first fish on red worm. There's a rough marker, love it. Killing it. But the question is, if we can kill it just about as good on worm, we'd much rather fish with worm for rough than red worm. This isn't like winding where you have those chances of catching the spectacular blue bream and white eyes and white bream and all that other stuff. All the crazy amounts of fish that are so active on red worm. We've done pretty well at Mosquito in a short amount of time. Got some cafe orders up to 70 silver. I don't know that we're going to I'm not going to hit 100, but we'll be well on our way to 100 silver just with a couple of fish down here. Another little tench. Interesting. And that was on the 24 hook, right? Yeah. This is probably a rough. It's a nice one though. Yeah, 62 gram. We'll take that. So that kind of proves that even without the red worm, we can probably do pretty good down here. All right, there's a bream. Yeah, let's switch to worms. We're out of ground bait. This is ground crackers. 10 out of 10. This is something I've not really ever done before a whole lot. Fish with 10 out of 10 ground bait that's really just crackers or just feed or whatever it is. Yeah, we love to see a even somewhat active rough rough spot here at Mosquito. I mean, we haven't focused on it a whole lot in this leveling series, but in previous ones, so many good things can come from the Mosquito rough orders. They come in high frequency. They have the a lot of them mixed in where you don't even need marker size rough. So like these small ones you catch, they end up, you know, 15, 20 silver sometimes for 5 of those non-markers that you wouldn't normally get anything for. It's just kind of phenomenal. But I don't think there's any cafe orders right now. So this is really, you know, we're not doing great down here on silver without the cafe orders, but this is really good information for future episodes if we do have the order. Because some of these rough spots will last for quite a while before migrating or rotating. We'll see how much these markers, like, do they average a silver a piece? A little more than that? It's not very often that I actually will choose to go for rough if there's no cafe orders for it. There's just usually something else that you can do, but I still don't, they're not terrible even in that situation. I mean, this is terrific. I mean, they are just popping off here. There's a marker. Nope. Just kidding. All right. When we are that far away from town, it is a no-brainer. We will travel to Winding and back. Even if it wasn't faster, which it is, it'd be easier. All right, nothing has come off, so we didn't get any extra surprise rough orders pop up. Oh yeah, 3.87, 3.2. I mean, these are terrific. That's 6 silver on 2 little marker rough. That's amazing. Oh, that's 37 silver. We actually did get over 100. Okay. I don't know how much longer we have the fair, but one thing we could consider is like getting 1 snowflake or 1 of these spinners. I'll think about it. If we're going to try the Belaya route this time around, it's not a bad thought. But if we were going to go the Bream route, prioritize Bream, then it's the feeder fishing start kit that we want. So Kama Comforts with these Lacertes You can upgrade the Lacertes, I think, if you want to, but even without the upgrade, it's just enough strength to kind of farm Bream. It's good setup. 149 silver, worth every penny. You get some 14 hooks, which is nice. You want to buy some that are bigger for Bream, but so that is the other option. I think I'm leaning towards the Belaya route, and then we'll start, hopefully do well enough there we can get the feeders and start working in Bream some. But we'll see. We'll see. I also have to make a final decision on how much more do we want to focus on the challenges. I'm not sure that we do, but we'll see. All right. Hey, as always, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. I will see you very soon. Tight lines.